Something I see a lot of people asking about is blending modes. So Procreate has 26 different blending modes to choose from, and they range from really subtle to quite dramatic effects. So sometimes it can look as if the image has been through a filter. So today I'm going to work with a lettering project and show you how you can create some really cool effects using blending modes. Great, so let's take a look. So I have my lettering project open in Procreate here, and the lettering is on a single layer with a black background underneath. So I've also brought in an image that I'm going to be using and we're going to alter the blend mode of. This is from Unsplash and the creator's name is Sergio Souza. I will leave a link to the image in the description below. So looking at our text layer, you can adjust blending modes on one layer and see how it reacts with like a background color, but you're going to get the most dramatic effect when you use another layer to interact with. You'll notice this little N here on the thumbnail of the layer, and this just means normal. So if I tap on that N, you'll see we now have this panel that gives us the option to change the opacity and also the blending modes here. So these are our 26 different blending modes. So I can start to play with this and see that it does alter the image with the black background already, but it's going to look a lot better if we have another image to interact with. So I'll just go back to normal here. So I'm going to hide the lettering layer for the moment and go back to our city image. What you can do as well is duplicate the same layer and then adjust the blending modes of each of these to see what effects you get. So I'm going to open the top version of the city image, and I'm going to just try a couple of things. You can see you can just slide through. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the Procreate handbook where it explains what each of these blending modes does. But it's just a matter of cycling through to find the look that you're after. So, you know, you'll get some really, really varied effect. Could take you on a whole different direction. I know I've definitely found myself playing with this for long periods of time. So I think we'll go with screen for the top one, and then I'm going to also just drop the opacity back on that so it's a nice subtle sort of adjustment to the layer, and I'll put that at about 80%. And then I'm going to adjust the underneath layer, so that's, you can see the difference when I turn on and off the top layer. You can see how that changes the image. And now I'm also going to adjust the bottom image. So the second one I'm going to use multiply for that, and I'm going to drop that opacity back. So now those two layers both have blending modes on them and they're interacting with each other. So we have multiply for the bottom one and screen for the top one. I wanted that background to be quite subtle, but to still see the detail in the image so that it interacts well with the lettering. So now looking at our lettering layer, I'm going to make a duplication just by swiping to the left and choosing duplicate. So now we have two versions of the lettering layer ready to go. So I'm going to set these as different blend modes. So for the top one, I'm going to choose add. So you can see that really cranks up the brightness. That's quite cool, but it's pretty extreme. So now I'm going to alter the blending mode underneath, and that will soften it a bit. So for this second one, I can sort of cycle through and see what works best. And I think color burn is actually really cool. I don't know if you can see that so well on screen, but I'm getting elements of the city image underneath and it's really shining through. So that's looking awesome. So you can see if I turn off that top version of the lettering layer, you can see hopefully on the screen that there's aspects of the lettering underneath, which is helping the add layer just look more burned into the image. So that's actually worked really well. I hope you enjoyed that video and you feel more comfortable using blending modes. Check out the channel page for more Procreate and lettering tutorials. Otherwise, I will see you next time.